hours ago. The Israeli High Court approved that same-sex couples and specifically single fathers can now have children through surrogacy within the next 6 months. Well, that ruling comes after the government asked the High Court of Justice to amend that current surrogacy law last Tuesday. The court rendered the law unconstitutional a year ago, but the deadline was extended on several occasions. The court ruling said that a, quote, LGBTQ plus family, as well as a single-parent family of a mother or father, and other models are all families. No one has the right to discriminate against parents, close quote. Again, a historic ruling by the High Court in favor of the community in Israel. I'm joined by Amit Lev Brinker, an activist in Tel Aviv for the community here. Appreciate your time with us. This has been somewhat of a snap development on us in the last hours, but I know this has been an issue, a big issue, really for the country for a long time now. So how do you feel just upon hearing the court's decision today?
It's an amazing change. We didn't expect the so-called change government to be presenting change so rapidly, but we're happy to see that this is one of the first things that it did change, and it's not just the government; it's the Supreme Court that ruled that we are also allowed to use surrogacy services to have the approach to surrogacy in Israel. Up until now, couples have been forced to go abroad to do that, and even if we put the money aside, the cost of this is like 500,000 shekels at least. We have stories of couples that were stuck in Nepal after the big earthquake that happened there a few years ago. And this has been in the making for over 6 years. This has been sitting with the Supreme Court, and the government, the previous government, led by Netanyahu, had been postponing it and kicking the ball down the road. So they've been saying that the Knesset cannot do this, and the Knesset will not legislate such a law and ask for extension after extension. And today, or likely more accurately, last week, the Ministry of Health, led by Nitzan Horowitz from Meretz, said that they do not oppose this, and they asked the Supreme Court to rule that the legislation is unconstitutional. As we can say this, and if we borrow terms from the U.S., but it's mainly the legislation that was unequal. It went against equality because it specified groups that are allowed to use surrogacy and groups that are not. And putting aside your ideas about surrogacy, the fact that there was a law in 2000, I think it was legislated in 2019, that said that gay men cannot use something or cannot do something in Israel is discriminatory. So it's not even unconstitutional. It goes against anything a democracy stands on.
Now, as you mentioned, this had been focused on men in particular here, wherever the basis for those concerns were, that had been the sticking point all these years. You highlight correctly the extreme plight that so many couples have gone through, whether it's India, Nepal, the other direction, out in certain parts of the United States as well, but far from home, in other words, and for years at a time in order to get this done on top of the financial cost. Given this change now, and from your knowledge of the community, what do you expect to see within the next year? Will there be a boom, essentially, of children coming into these families, or what do you think the reaction will be right away?
Well, we are a country of children. Israel and basically mainly Jews we're people of big families, and children have been something that the LGBTQ community has been fighting for a long time. We have to remember that the law will take effect, or more like the judgment will take effect in 6 months, not starting today. Those articles in the law will be annulled or nullified in 6 months. So I believe that we'll see a lot more gay men asking or looking for a surrogate woman to assist them in bringing a child into this world. I don't think we'll see a boom because there's a limit to how many women want to do that. I know that straight couples or man-woman couples have been struggling with this as well. And there's a story about a few couples that are stuck in Georgia, the country, not the state, because of COVID, and they cannot come back to Israel after having gone through surrogacy procedures in Georgia. they have the babies, and they're stuck in Georgia. So it's a matter of how many people would want to go through it. I don't expect a boom, and we don't know what the day will bring. And tomorrow will bring a change in legislation, or maybe more women will want to do it for gay couples than they want to do it for others. I don't know. I don't expect a boom, but it's certainly happy news for a lot of my friends.
Definitely a positive development.
For my mother, yeah, and for my mother as well, I'm sure.
Coming up at the end of the broadcast, Amit Levbrinker, thanks for joining us on a short notice, certainly on this important development for the community at large. Thank you.